a Georgia senator is demanding that Georgia and Florida State make the college football playoff. That the Orange Bowl gets placed as a college football playoff game this year. I made a video a few days back about how the Florida Attorney General was launching an investigation against the college football playoff, and now a Georgia senator is taking some action. I don't know how official this action is. His is more of a demand than an actual, I think, official investigation. I'll read some of the. I've got the statement pulled up. I want to read some of this to you guys because, look, at the end of the day, it happened. The College Football Playoff Committee made its decision, and yes, part of what has made America great, has made, certain things in the justice system great, is that you can appeal things, and you can, the first decision is not necessarily the final decision, right? To put it in really basic terms, and you guys know what I mean. But guys, it's college football, and I love college football to death. My job is literally all about college football. It is me talking, writing, shooting pictures, doing all that about college football for about Georgia and all that. And I think this is kind of ridiculous. I mean, what was ridiculous in the first place was Georgia not making the playoff, right? I think most intelligent college football media people, coaches, players, I think most people in the college football community would agree with me on that statement. And was Florida State one of the foremost deserving? Yes. So by those two criteria, the committee left one out one way or the other. Should the Orange Bowl be a playoff game, though? No, because guess what? And guess what, Florida State? Part of this is on Florida State and the ACC for delaying expansion. The playoff could have been 12 teams by now. This is last year before Ryan Keller from Dawg Post here talking about more government stuff dealing with this Orange Bowl and this playoff committee. I mean, I do think it's kind of ridiculous. I want to read some of it. This is no personal shot at anyone. It is my job to get on here and talk about stuff. But Colton C. Moore, Senator District 53, has released a public statement. This is an appeal to the CFP committee to include the Orange Bowl in the college football playoff. I might read the whole thing. I might not. Let's just read some of it. Here we go. Dear Chairman Corrigan and the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, with few exceptions, collegiate sport is capable of governing itself, but the decision this committee made was a historic failure for the people of Georgia and Florida, as highlighted by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Senator Rick Scott. Until the SEC championship, not important, blah, 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 all about Georgia's win streak, blah, 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 statistically the most four, move on. Your mandate is to send the four best teams in the country to the playoff. And instead, you have created a political mess with a decision based in bias to weaker conferences and teams who want nothing to do with playing the Georgia Bulldogs. Wow. This is a lot. This grave error is one that Georgians may have to live with for generations to come. You have proven that the historical body of work by UGA staff and future Hall of Fame coaches count for nothing, even amidst the near smallest margin of loss possible after 29 straight wins and arguably the most exhilarating SEC championship game in history. It was not the most exhilarating SEC championship game in history. It was not. I think it was 2018. Not more exhilarating, that game. Georgia obviously on the short end of the stick both times there, but I'd argue 2018 was definitely more exhilarating. We're talking about, you guys saw the game. At some point in the future, it may be reasonable to have this committee replaced by artificial intelligence, because the current intelligence has caused an undue embarrassment to college football and an injustice upon the state of Georgia and the university system of Georgia. The University of Georgia is in the top 4 college football teams in the United States. That part was all underlined. I'm going to read this last paragraph, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on it again. In light of the CFP expansion in the 2024 season, and as a remedy to avoid massive liabilities people of Georgia request you allow the Orange Bowl to be activated as a college football playoff game and therefore delay the national championship by 1 week or otherwise make accommodations. Let's unpack. I agree that Georgia should be in the top 4. I agree that it's arguably egregious. This was the one year, in my opinion, in the 10, 11 years of the college football playoff where you really did have more than 4 teams that had a true case to be in the playoff. 6. You had 6 this time around. There were 6 teams that you had a real case thought should be in the college football playoff. I'll throw Florida State in there, even though I think that they are worse than the other 5. Texas, Alabama, yes, those are great football teams. They deserve it. Are they the 4 best teams? I'm not sure. I really am not sure because I think Georgia is one of the 4 best. So who do you leave out there? That was the committee's problem. Legal action, like I talked about the other day, nothing's going to change. This is all to save face. To me, this is probably somewhat about popularity, notoriety, votes. I don't want to speculate too much, guys, but I think that there are far greater issues than the college football playoff for the state of Georgia and the state of Florida. There are way more important things going on than the college football playoff. And I just don't, I guess it's just kind of bugged me a little bit that there's political manpower and brain power being pushed towards this thing. But that statement was raw. That was a lot. And that was a lot of opinion. Right? I don't know that there was necessarily fact in this. And here is the thing. At the end of the day, it is a group of people that are making these decisions. And what do the groups of people have opinions? It's not partial. You can't compute completely objectively. It's almost impossible. Especially when the group of people have ties to college football and they're administrators at universities. Some of them at universities that are in the playoff. So it is impossible, if that is the format that it's going to be, to accomplish what both the Florida politicians and Georgia politicians have been saying in all of this. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. Georgia and Florida State both got snubbed from the college football playoff. I think Georgia deserved it more. And it's just kind of the end of the story. I don't think that we saw, I don't remember this ever being a thing with any other school. Please let me know if something in the comments down below. I do look at the comments a lot of the times. Please let me know down below if there is a particular case that I'm forgetting about where a school was so outraged, a state was so outraged that their team was snubbed from the college football playoff that they made all these public statements and legal action. I think Dean and I talked about it on a video the other day about UCF 2017. Where was this for that? Where was this for that? For the national champions, right? I thought you guys were the national champions in 2017. I thought that's what the deal was. But there are far greater issues in the college football playoff for legal matters. And at the end of the day, Georgia and Florida State need to suit up and play this Orange Bowl. That's what it is. I moved on. I moved on from the fact that Georgia got snubbed. I moved on from the fact that Georgia's not going to have a chance to three-peat. It's gone. It's gone. And what's ahead is a scary but exciting future in college football. What's more immediately ahead is an Orange Bowl matchup with Florida State, and Kirby Smart and Georgia have a chance to put another significant trophy into the trophy case. Because that's, at the end of the day, the Orange Bowl is a significant trophy. That's my take. I wanted to share this with you guys because it was funny to me. Links are down below. EcoPoly, the newsletter. I got you down below. Thanks for watching.